Writing your own story seems very difficult to you, something even impossible. Well, I'm telling you in this episode how to write your own story with ChatGPT. Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service? Or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day, and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening, and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to episode 167 of the Nata PR School podcast. Welcome, my PR friends, my marketing friends, and you solopreneur who are looking to learn how to use those crazy tools. AI is like one of your fear. You're at the right place. So we're talking about public relations as always, and how telling your story using ChatGPT. I've already talked about my first impressions using ChatGPT in episode 140. If you want to go back and listen to those episodes, 140, 161. But since then, I really have used it probably every single day. I've used it extensively. This is a very interesting new tool for me. And I use it in a way that ChatGPT is becoming my new assistant. It is now. I use ChatGPT as if it was a great assistant that knows how to write extremely well. I use him and his services to write podcasts and translations. So for those who may not know, listen to this. I always, every single week, record 2 podcasts. Why? Because I record this one in French and in English. Of course, you don't need to listen to both because, you don't need to listen to both languages, of course. So I take this opportunity, to tell you that I'm recording 2 podcasts and to thank my podcast producer, the incredible Francis Parent-Valiquette. How do you say your name in English? Francis Parent-Valiquette. From VAR Media, VARMADIA. So if you're looking for a podcast producer, generous, brilliant, and amazing, yes, Francis and VAR Media is where you should go. So yes, 2 podcasts. And once again, this is where I've noticed that I'm really lucky to be this. I'm so curious. I'm a very curious human being. And curiosity has become a great tool for me. It helps me make my fears disappear. So the fear of making mistakes or not knowing something has greatly diminished over the years since I've let my curiosity take over. Really, it's so simple. I just accept that I don't know it. I know that I don't know. And I'm not afraid to say, well, I don't know, show me how to use it. How are you using it? I'm not afraid anymore. And it's really from realizing, yes, that curiosity is a strength, that it helps me move forward so much. So the thought that keeps me going always, my go-to thought to help me create, and even when I don't want to do something, every week it's the same thing. I don't want to record a podcast, I don't want to write one. So this is what I'm using, and I will share it with you. This is my go-to thought, and if it resonates with you, write it down, use it or change it or tweak it. So when you find those thoughts that you feel that are true to you, these thoughts will make you act, because it's going to create an emotion in you. And this is when you have a desire or an emotion that's going to make you act, really. So this is the thought, my go-to thought. Grab a pen. So I know I can always learn new things. It's as simple as that. I know I can always learn new things. So this simple thought really creates in me an emotion of energy and strength. It makes me want to explore. And I'm using it with ChatGPT, my friends, because at first I'm like, I'm not sure I want to use it. And, I'm not going to use it right. Well, I can always learn new things. So I can learn how to use ChatGPT. So I started really working with it more and more, and I'm using the free versions. Just so you know, it's really the basic version, but it's still even that simple. It's quite powerful, and I really learned to use it better and better. And in this episode, I wanted to share with you how I use it with my students at the Nata PR school. I teach them how I use it because very often, I don't know if you are familiar with our Nata PR model. It's a free document that I share with you guys. The link is down this episode, so you can download it. It's 6 steps on how to create a PR or social media campaign. We also have another document. The link is not there, but it's how to create your own press releases in 6 steps. It's just really, it happened that both have 6 steps, but here I'm talking about our model, the Nata PR model, 6 step. And step number 2 is sometimes the step that scares my student the most, because this is where we talk and we tell your story. Point number 2 is tell your story. Point number 1 is find out why media would write about you, that kind of your title of your press release, for example. And step number 2 is you have to tell your story. And now with ChatGPT, this step number 2 becomes such a fun game. So voila. And my dear friends, so ChatGPT I'm sure, I can confirm it's going to become your new assistant. It's really like a virtual employee who writes beautifully and translates astonishingly. Like, he's an amazing translator, amazing writer. It's like having an assistant that's really good with languages. And I love using ChatGPT because it allows me to work so much faster and to write even better. I always write this podcast, the first version of this podcast, in French. French is my mother tongue. And I'm quite good in French. My French, it's my first language, and I care about French a lot. So I master French quite well. And so very often what I do is I'm very polite with ChatGPT, and I ask my new assistant to correct my text and even make a better version first in French. And every time I'm still so impressed because it is much better. Really. So, and then I ask ChatGPT to translate my French podcast into English. And oh my God, it's very impressive. It's not always 100% what I want to say. So sometimes I read it back and it doesn't translate like 100% what I'm wish to say. So I can really quickly adapt. But oh my God, I'm saving so much time and money. Really. Translation, right? And every time, I'm amazed by the results. I even teach you, my friends, how to use it at the Nata PR school. So maybe if you click on the link, get featured for free, that's our program, how to get featured for free. This is where I teach you our 6-step models. And so maybe the doors of the school might not be open at the moment you listen to this, but get on our list. If you're not on our list, get on our list. You can go on my website, or if you download the model, you're gonna end on our list, and you'll know because I announce it all the time when we reopen the door. So voila, and I teach you how to use ChatGPT really, and it's so much fun. So let me propose here, because if you're not ready to register to the Nata PR school, I'm going to give you some tips, of course, today in this episode. So this is what I do. For those who know me, I love to write everything point forms. Anyone can write point forms. You can too. So let's say I need a text to present the agency Nata PR. I just write point form, Nata PR, public relations firm, established. Point number 2, point established in 2000, point specializes in luxury, high-end consumer products, beauty, design, fashion, and food. And the results is at the bottom of this episode. I'm going to leave it there. So, of course, that was like a long presentation, and I asked for more precise. You can say, Can you write a shorter version, a more precise version? And you'll see what is suggested. I could have used it right away the way it was beautifully written and interesting. And my final edition that I put also just to show you the tweak that I made. So my friends, yes, no more excuses, PR friends. Go explore ChatGPT. It will become your new assistant, I'm sure. So the more specific also you ask questions and you ask him to rewrite the text, write it differently with a different tone. Have fun with it. Be curious and play with ChatGPT. And more than anything, I hope you'll be coming back to the podcast next week and let me know. Give us a quote too if you like it. It's always useful to have a quote, as you know. So voilà, and I hope you'll be joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.